Now, where do I even start with this beautiful, ugly monster? He's obviously one of my favorites. He's the myth, he's the legend, he's Cthulhu. A whole mythos has been written about him, and cults of people believe that one day he will rise from the sea and take over the earth. Now, before we get into Cthulhu, if you're a fan of monsters, scary stories, and lore, this is the channel for you. Please hit the like button by flicking it. Please subscribe. Now let's get into today's monster. H.P. Lovecraft created Cthulhu. When he created him, it was supposed to be said in an alien language. An alien language most of us do not speak. It was supposed to say Cthulhu or something like that. But the name we most commonly know him by is Cthulhu. Unfortunately for the great H.P. Lovecraft, he died in 1937 at the age of 46 years old. He died in pain and in poverty, and he never got to see how successful his work would be. After his passing, dozens of other authors started writing their own stories and origins of Cthulhu with different personalities and different appearances, and that's truly how the mythos got started. That's one of my favorite things about Cthulhu. There's so many different gods and deities, you could truly do a college course about it. And I would have taken it if I had gone to college. So we don't get confused, we'll be going after what most people agree is the main mythos of Cthulhu. He's part of a group of unique, powerful beings called the Great Old Ones, who have been around for a very long time, if you couldn't tell by their name. They all got together and decided to travel to Earth, but not long after they arrived, they found another group of powerful beings who were just as powerful and dangerous as them, if not even more. They were called the Elder Gods. Obviously, when you have two powerful groups sharing the same space, it's like having two boxers in one ring. So they did what came natural. They started to fight. After numerous battles, the two groups finally called a truce and agreed to live together in peace. Cthulhu and the Great Old Ones would get to keep the new formed land, and the Elder Ones got to keep their old land around Antarctica. Cthulhu then fell into a deep slumber for thousands of years and watched how humans came to be. He saw empires rise and he saw empires fall. He did still find a way to stay in contact with humans, but through dreams. He then started to build his own cult of Cthulhu. No one knows how or even when, but the city Cthulhu built would sink into the sea. Until it resurfaces, his cult will wait and hope for the day the Great Old One rises from the sea and takes over the earth. That's a really weird thing to hope for, but then again, cults are crazy. It's very ironic that people see Cthulhu as a god, because where he comes from, he actually isn't one, but instead he's a priest. He was called Cthulhu, High Priest of the Great Old Ones. Even his cult knows that a single glance from the monster would drive a person crazy just by looking at its face. There have been hundreds of monsters before and after Cthulhu, so why is he one of the most popular ones with the whole mythos written around him? I believe there's two reasons why. One of them being, if you have ever read The Call of Cthulhu, you truly know how unique and scary that book is. I remember when I read it and where I read it, and it has not left me since. It was so off-putting and so unique. I truly have never read a story quite like that. And the second reason being is because he looks like a bad mother effer. He's gigantic, has wings on his back, and has an octopus face. There is no confusing Cthulhu with anybody else. His look and his appearance is truly one of a kind. Lovecraft's work was fear, our fear of the unknown. Cthulhu is from the deep sea. We know more about the solar system than we do our own oceans, and that's a terrifying thought. What lies under our ocean? Is it Cthulhu himself? Is it different monsters beyond our wildest imagination? Or is it different life forms we can't understand yet? We just don't know. Many say Cthulhu is evil, but I disagree. I believe he's just a being we don't understand. We do not know if he understands the difference between good and bad. And who's to say if we humans truly know what it means to be good and bad? So who are we to judge him? Cthulhu is an amazing, powerful monster who should not be feared, but respected. That was this week's monster. Tell me what you guys think of Cthulhu in the comments. And if you're a fan of monsters, scary stories, and lore, please like and follow me on any of my platforms. And if you already do, from the bottom of my heart, I truly thank you. And remember, sometimes what the world needs is not a hero. What it really needs is a monster.